Hey guys, it's me, Joy, with Lotus Pop. Boom! How are you? I hope everything is good. Thank you so much for being here. Hey guys, this is a quick Karmic spiritual war update. Just wanted to let you know what's going on. Okay, so the night before last in the women's shelter, right? Okay. So this one guy, he approaches one of my friends, and she's this big, black, beautiful woman, okay, who's currently being stalked also. And he approached her, showed her my picture on his phone, asked if she knew me, and she said yes. Then he offered her $100 to steal my phone, and she just put him on blast. The irony is, I was outside in the gazebo area and I overheard someone yelling and just, I'm like a verbal beatdown, you know? I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Well, it was her. It was her just going off on this guy, just saying, how dare you? Get out of here. You get out of my face with your nasty $100 and everything. And later on, just so happens, you know, it's about 11:15 at night, and I'm washing my face and brushing my teeth, and she comes, and I hardly ever see her. She's like, girl, I need to talk to you. She told me everything. She said, I put him on blast. I'm like, that was you? She said, yes, it was. She's like, the nerve of his funky ass. You know, anyway, so God is good. I just give God praise for that. The night before that, in my dorm, yes, Deborah, who I've put on my, you know, stalker hall of shame that I have on my post, my community board, she decides to spray some weird spray stuff. I don't know. It was obviously poisonous. It started off like smelling really good, and then it got really sickening sweet. My friend, who had been escorted to her bed because she drank too much, she woke up. She's like, what the bleep? You know, what the hell is that smell? Damn. You know, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I went out, I told staff. By the time staff got there, it was too late. This woman's a pro. She masked it, and it didn't smell anymore. It left me with a really bad stomach ache, and I had to go outside. And she just had this really, like, Cheshire cat smile, like, you know. So anyways, basically, those were the last two blows that reminded me that, and God said, you know, you got to go. So I had to dip, and now I'm in a new location that God has provided for me, and 2 days in, and they're already on me. They found me. They know where I am. I'm sitting outside for the first time, and I've already seen like 3 red cars. I saw a couple walking by. This guy's wearing this white shirt and red, bright Christmas red shorts, and his girlfriend is like looking and looking towards the window where I was and everything. Yeah, it's like they already know that I'm here. And I'm sitting here, and I see a stalker walk by. This time he's wearing blue and white, and he makes the nasty sound with the, you know, like they're spitting type thing, you know, which I spat right back at him. They don't expect that. So yeah. And my beautiful daughter, Danica Ryan Valencia, may she rest in peace. I love you, baby. She came to me and she's like, Mama, she goes, you need to be careful. You know, I'm like, okay. She's like, you're not safe. And I'm like, okay. So basically, she was warning me about a woman who is looking for me. She has red hair, and she is just completely mad. Just really wants to literally use, trigger warning, a knife, and wants to just puncture me all over. And based on the words that I've been receiving today, and he broke up with her, whoever he is. I think he might be one of my exes, I don't know. And she's just fit to be tied, and she wants me gone. And so she's on the hunt. She's literally on, I mean, I've heard this before, but not like this. So yeah, I'm keeping my eyes open. But you know, the audacity of these people, man. I've done absolutely nothing wrong at all. At all. Except for breathe. Except for be here. Except for to shine and be my gorgeous, beautiful self on the inside and the outside, loving myself, right? Yeah. So the other thing that came up today was, and I'd like to address, is my ex-boyfriend, Marcus. So basically, he's been lying and telling everyone that the reason for our breakup has been because I used him. I used him, I abused him, I was cruel. He said I was cruel to him. He said I used him and abused him and I hurt him, and that I was the bad one. I cheated. Like, he basically put everything that he was doing to me onto me. Projection, right? Projection. So, yeah, that was fun. And yeah, I'd just like to say for the record, the whole time in the beginning when we were dating, like the first couple of months, I remember him always saying, you have to pay for this and you have to pay for that, just like the bitch that he always was, right? And it came up to the $2,000 mark, and he's like, you have to pay me back. And I'm like, excuse me? He's like, yeah, for all the times that I took you out and I spent money on you, you need to pay me back. I was like, excuse me, it's called investing into a relationship. And you haven't even been taking me to the places that I even deserve to go to. So I don't know what the hell that you're talking about. I've been really cool about having dinner at home and, sharing a bottle of wine at home and things like that, the nerve, the audacity. And he would always keep reminding me, you have to pay me back. You need to pay me back. Who does that? Nobody I've ever dated before has ever done something like that. So, ridiculous. It's not that I expect men to pay for me, I'm happy to pay my own way. But if you ask me out, and you're like, I'll take care of it and everything, then of course I'm going to say yes if I want to spend time with you. So he was blessed to even be in my presence. So for him to say that about me is an outright big fake lie. And he's been saying this to certain strategic people that are interested in me and just trying to paint me as if I'm some user and abuser, which I'm not. So that's that one. And there's a lot of death going on. These karmics are they are death's door. The Grim Reaper is out and he is getting ready to do his job. Even when I don't check online, even when I'm not, meditating or something like that, even just out and about, God shows me like little signs and synchronicities like all the time. And one that I got yesterday was the death sign and revolution and 555. Yeah. And tactics, different things like that all the time. I'm going to post them on my community board. I'm going to show you. But these people just refuse to stop. And as far as my karmic maternal unit, she's also dying as well. And she's so stubborn that she is basically going to take all of her things that she has done to the grave. She will not apologize. She secretly feels badly for what she's done, but only because she's being caught. She's busted. She's caught up. So yeah, that's been fun, guys. People are starting to realize that she's not even telling the truth anyway. People are starting to realize, including officials, that she's just making it all up. I swear to you guys, the whole time I've been here, what is this, 8 minutes and 20 seconds, I've seen 4 red cars. Yeah, 4, count them 4. Yeah, I can feel the energy. It usually takes them about a month to find me, and in this case, it's only been 2 days. So that tells me that somebody obviously followed me over here. Anyway, yeah, and the other thing I would like to address is pedophilia. Trigger warning. Yeah, okay. And the Lord wanted me to talk about this as well. Okay, I'm not trying to sensationalize something as disgusting as this, right? So, basically, my uncle, Edward Valencia, yeah. When I was 5 years old, he used to come over and babysit me and my little sister, Erica, who's now gone to the dark side. Rest in peace, Erica. Peace out. He would watch like Dodger games and stuff like that and put a big blanket on the floor and put pillows down and snacks and stuff, and then he would like have us watch the game with him, right? And I remember he said, come give me a hug, Mihita, come give me a hug. So I was like, okay. So I did. And next thing I know, he's putting his hands down my pants, my underwear. And I remember looking at him. I remember having like one hand on one shoulder and one hand on the other. And I was like, Uncle Eddie, you're not supposed to be touching my butt. And he was like, oh, you're right. And he stopped immediately. Okay. Then I remember leaving the room and I came back in and there he was with my little sister Erica doing the same thing. I remember calling her over and saying, let's go play over here, you know. Um, it was just really a bad thing. And then fast forward, you know, many years when I had given birth to my youngest daughter, Mackenzie Love Barclay, who now goes by Miko. Um, excuse me. She was 4 months old, and we went to go visit the family, and we're like, oh, the baby, let me see. I remember my uncle took Mackenzie into his room and basically had um, he had taken Mackenzie into his room, way in the back of the room, had weird music on, like piano music, like, and was grooming my daughter, basically. Um, I got her just in time, just in time. And I remember telling my mom at the time, Uncle Eddie was trying to hurt Mackenzie. And all hell broke loose, like, what? Leave here now. How dare you? And it was just awful. So, you know, I remember my ex-husband, Miles Rieger, had told me that one time he had caught my mom and my uncle making out, French kissing. Yeah, I didn't want to believe him. And they still live together right now. Yeah, they've been living together for some time. And yeah, it just makes me so sad because I really thought that everything had gotten better and just almost like spells being put on me to make me forget what had happened. And I feel bad that my granddaughter Ariel has been there and my nieces Kendall and Sophia. You know, it's like I always wondered if they were okay. Um, I feel so bad. I should have made that phone call a long time ago to DHS or CPS, but I had so many other things going on in my own household. It just, psh, you know. So Ariel, Sophia, and Kendall, I'm very sorry for not having called the police to try and help you get out of there. When you were younger, I tried to help you, and they snatched you back, and they said a lot of bad things about me as if I were hurting you, and I wasn't. So I don't know if you guys are working against me too, but I hope not, because I have always loved you and kept you in my heart. Always have. Anyway, so you guys, this stuff is not easy for me to talk about, but I just wanted to give a really quick update on this. It's about all that I have for now. So until, oh, right, okay, Holy Spirit. Okay, so Brad Barclay, my ex-husband of 17 years. We dated for 5, we were married for 17, and so that's a total of 22, right? So I remember my daughter, Danica Ryan Valencia, my baby, she told me when she was 15 that she had noticed Brad peeking in through the little crack in the door in at Danica when she was 15. Danica was so jacked up on meth at the time, I didn't believe her, and only later to find out that she was telling the truth. Fast forward years later, they don't want me talking about this. Can you hear that? Fast forward when Mackenzie, that's the 5th red car, you guys. Check it out. Wow, they're really hot on me. Okay, so basically, when Mackenzie had cancer, we were in the hospital, and I was cleaning Mackenzie. I was giving her a sponge bath, and I had to take care of her privates. And Brad could not stop looking at her vagina. And I remember saying, "What are you looking at? You're acting like you've never seen a vagina before, ever." Of course, we weren't having intimacy at that time. The last 6 years of our marriage was like 0. Anyways, he was so like in a trance. It was almost like a MK Ultra type look, you know. So he just wouldn't stop, and I had to cover her up. The last time was when Skylar was in the shower, my other daughter, and she was about 13. Brad and I were kicking back on the sofa watching TV, and I saw him turn his head, and he wouldn't stop looking. It was Skylar, and you could see her naked in the mirror from where we were. It was just awful, you guys. And I remember saying, "What the hell are you doing? What is going on?" And he was so defiant in the way that he was looking at her. Anyway, I will never forget that as long as I live. I just wish that I had called the police. I wish I had reached out. I wish. I just didn't want to believe that it was true. Oh my God. Anyway, it's all coming out now. And worse is that he's a school bus driver. Yeah. I don't know if he still is now. I hear he's sick. He's very sick. And he's close to the Grim Reaper visiting him. So, and the same thing for my ex-boyfriend Marcus. He's another one. So again, I don't wish anyone any harm. I don't wish anyone anything evil, but these people deserve what they're getting. They really do. They're absolutely disgusting. They're all predators, and they need to go. And my karmic ex maternal unit, she is another one who helped to enable that pedophilia in the home, and she needs to go too. This world will be a much better place without them. And it's just sad because they had an opportunity to get it right, and instead they just did everything wrong. So that's about all I've got for now, you guys. I don't like talking about this, and I just want to say before I go is that if this is happening to you, if you catch your wife or your husband looking at your children inappropriately and you just don't want to believe it, you need to believe it, okay? Just take my example, okay? You don't want to be living with that guilt later on, I'm telling you. It's not a good feeling at all. And you're only hurting your own children. And even if your marriage is falling apart and you don't want to admit it, it's better that you get it over with sooner rather than later. Don't waste another 10 years of your life in something where you're being controlled, and you're not even really being loved properly anyway. I'm not condoning divorce. If there's a chance, if you can make it, if you can do it, then yes, great. But, some people are just really sick and you'll never know, even after knowing them for 20 years. Yeah, it's really sad, but true. Anyway, okay. Anything else, Holy Spirit? No. Okay. So until next time, be good. Stay blessed. And remember, we are here to get it on, up, on, out the mud. Mwah.